Hey everybody, this is Mr. Horton with a series of video backup lessons for Studio Art 1, Studio Art 2, and film appreciation and cinematography. Verney Arts, Iona Prep. Alright guys, today we are looking at hands, which can sometimes be considered to be one of the most complicated things about the human body. We are turning our paper vertical. We are looking at 3 sets of hands that are going to increase in difficulty as we go through them, but they are the 3 most logical sets of hands that you would need to draw for the upcoming project grade in drawing the whole human body. Alright, so the first hand we are going to draw is going to be just a hand at ease, palm open. Now, when you were kids, you did a project around Thanksgiving where you traced your palm and it became a turkey. We're not going to do it that way. We're going to do it wireframe. Now with wireframe drawing, we're going to use simple shapes like circles, triangles, rectangles, ovals, bell shapes overlaid to form the shapes of the human form. Okay, so on the palm, the very first thing you should always establish with the hand period is the palm. Okay, so your palm shape is basically a bell shape. Now, going along with me here on the page, try to draw light. Again, paper vertical. You guys are going to draw me in the middle of the page a bell shape. Now, the bell shape is nothing nuts. It's just a curve with 2 lines that are slightly diagonal, which have another curve at the bottom. Now, once you get that palm line in, the next thing you're going to establish is your wrist direction. So my wrist direction is just kind of going down in this case, okay? So it's going to be kind of here. Next thing, I am finding on my palm this wrinkle line that goes across the palm. Everybody has this wrinkle line. Now this shape is basically an oval. Now I'm just going to put in a big oval right at the palm. All right, and then I'm going to work my way down the thumb, which has 2 sections, and I'm going to do this with ovals. I'm going to do 1 oval, and with the second oval, it's going to look slightly different only because I'm kind of doing it based off how the hand looks. If you notice, the thumb is more like, it almost looks like a piece of candy corn, okay? All right, now, going through the fingers. Now, your fingers are obviously different length, all right? Your middle finger is your longest, and then depending on genetics, it's either the pointer finger or your ring finger is the next longest, and then your pinky is always the shortest, okay? So it tends to be that your hand is always at like this house-looking length. You can draw that in, and we're going to erase it. Now, when I go through the fingers here, I'm actually going to, again, constantly look at my hand that I'm drawing here, my left hand. Or for you lefties, you're looking at your right hand, and this would be mirrored technically and harder for you. But I'm going to start out with the middle finger, and I'm going to start via section. I'm going to go oval, oval, oval up to the point. On the pointer, I'm going to go oval, oval, oval up to the diagonal of the roof. I'm going to go oval, oval, oval up to the next roof end. And then again, if you'll notice, when your hand's at ease, your pinky finger is usually touching the ring finger. So again, I'm going to go oval, 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 and the pinky finger should be the shortest. Now, when you get to this point, a lot of you guys in here are going to have this awkward shelf on the right side, or again, if you're doing a mirrored version, this hand will be on the other side, but you might have a shelf on one end, all right? What you want to do is never put that shelf in. If it looks weird, don't put it in. So when you're sketching this out, just go through this and erase to clean this up. My next step is going to be basically I'm just going to go through and I'm going to press a little bit hard on the outside of the hand, and I'm going to be conscious of things like the webbing on the fingers. Everybody has webbing on their fingers, so you have curving at the end of the palm, webbing. It's what dictates how well you swim, okay? I'm going to curve around here, and then I'm going to take my eraser and I'm going to go on the inside. I'm just going to start getting rid of some of that inside stuff that we don't need anymore. Again, I cannot stress this enough. This is not a one-to-one thing. You do not do this and then it looks like a hand and it looks perfect. These are jump-off points. These are ways to get your hand to look a little bit better. You'll notice I'm putting in creases at the fingers. I'm putting in wrinkle lines at the palm. Everybody has wrinkle lines in the palm. Erasing at the bottom down here, I'm putting in the vein lines, which always look like an inverted V with a line. Okay, I'm gonna fix up the thumb. And I'm gonna erase the housing over the fingers. But basically you can see, again, it's not perfect, but it looks like a hand. I feel like it needs to be a little bit crushed and wider, but for the most part, it gets you a lot of the way there, okay? Now on to the next hand. All right, so the next hand we're gonna do, we're on our next page. The page is vertical again. Now, we're gonna go to the next difficulty of hand, and the next most logical hand you would possibly draw with your project drawing. You are going to possibly draw a closed fist. Okay, now the layers of depth of this, open palm is only one layer of depth, so the difficulty in doing an open palm is not really difficult, but a closed fist, it's about, I don't know, 1, 2, 3, 3 to 4 layers of depth, so it's about 3 to 4 times harder than the open palm that we just did. All right, so again, the first thing we're going to do is establish the bell shape. All right, and I'm going to do my wrist lines. My first thing I'm gonna do here, I'm gonna draw in my closed fingers, and I'm kind of gonna just do this loosely. I'll show you I'm doing this. It's almost like I'm drawing a more severe bell shape up here. All right, so second bell. Now, we're gonna skip away from the fingers and we're gonna do the giant oval for the thumb. We're gonna do the oval going up. We're gonna do the weird triangular oval going over. Now I am going to immediately, after getting these in, again, look at my hand, there it is. I'm immediately going to erase the inside of this just because it makes it way easier to look at. So I am looking at about that. Okay? Now, fingers. Your thumb, when you make a fist, usually touches somewhere in the middle finger. So I'm going to draw a line, I'm going to draw a line, and I'm going to draw a line. So I'm drawing 3 lines, okay, in that area. One is kind of with the palm, that's the middle of the middle finger, and then you have 2 diagonals on the left and right. I'm going to do V shapes at the edge of these. I'm going to immediately go back through. I'm just going to start curving these out. I'm going to do curve lines and curves. And I'm just going to go in and start detailing. I'm going to get in the wrinkle lines on the palm. I have to show a little bit of the palm over here with a line. I had to bring this line up and touch that. I'm just going to start erasing a bunch of stuff that I don't need, like this cross over here. This one down here, erase somewhere the wrinkle line. Get a little bit of a crow's foot right in there. All right, and there you have it. There's the closed fist. All right, on to the next one. All right, so the last hand that we are going to draw is the most complicated hand of the 3 per depth level. So we started out with the open palm. We went to the closed fist. We are now doing the same closed fist, but the closed fist is going to turn this much, which now it goes from being 3 to 4 layers of depth to 6 to 7 layers of depth. Okay, so again, first thing we're going to establish is the bell shape. But now the bell shape is actually drastically different. If I open up my palm here, you can see it's more in perspective. So the bell is going to go from being like a normal bell to being kind of like this. You'll notice one side is severely down into the diagonals, okay? I'm going to establish my wrist line again. All right. Now, I am going to start by doing the fingers. Okay, and the way I'm going to do this is I'm going to kind of put in this like rhombus shape right here. And I'm going to do that same rhombus shape. I'm going to do that in a couple more times. I'm going to do 1, I'm going to do it 2, I'm going to do it 3 more times behind that. Again, I'm not saying this is easy. This is actually one of the hardest things we do in this class. Okay, so we have 4 rhombus shapes. Okay, now I am going to then change these into ovals. So I got an oval, I got an oval, I got an oval right here. Okay, I'm going to erase some of this so you can see it a little bit better. Okay, I'm gonna do a similar deal to these. I'm just gonna clean them up. Okay, you clearly see the fingers. Now the thumb. Doing a big oval. Oval goes back. Pointy oval goes over. I know that's hard to see. Okay, I'm gonna erase the insides. Curve, line right here. There it is. You can kind of see the oval. You can kind of see the pointy oval. You see the palm oval. Okay. Erase here. Now erase at the wrist connection. Okay. I'm going to draw in a bunch of wrinkle lines. I'm going to draw in crow's feet. I'm going to draw in little breaks, the fingers. Okay, and there we go. There is a closed fist. Again, it's not perfect, but it does get you most of the way there towards drawing the hand. Okay, so these were 3 hands, 3 difficulties. This is not graded. You are not submitting these 3 to Classroom. This is just classwork. Next thing we are going to do is eyeballs, the next class. If you have any questions about the assignment, email me or refer to the project on Google Classroom. See you in class.